Once upon a time, in a small town surrounded by forests and hills, there lived a detective rabbit named Thumper. Thumper was a clever and adventurous rabbit who loved to explore the world around him. He had big floppy ears that helped him hear even the faintest of sounds, and his nose was so sensitive that he could sniff out clues from miles away. One day, Thumper received a call from the local museum. The curator of the museum informed him that dinosaur bones were disappearing from their exhibits. Thumper, being the curious rabbit he was, immediately agreed to take on the case and set out to the museum to investigate. When Thumper arrived at the museum, he met with the curator and examined the exhibit closely. He noticed that some of the bones were missing, and some of them had been replaced with fake replicas. Thumper knew he had to act fast before more bones disappeared. Thumper immediately set to work, using his knowledge of history and his detective skills to find clues. He searched high and low, sniffed around the exhibit, and followed tracks that led to the exit. Finally, after hours of searching, Thumper found a clue that led him to a nearby cave. Thumper bravely entered the cave, not knowing what he might find inside. As he made his way deeper into the cave, he heard strange noises and felt a chill in the air. But Thumper was determined to find out who was stealing the dinosaur bones. Suddenly, he saw a shadowy figure in the distance. Thumper quickly hid behind a rock and watched as the figure moved towards a pile of dinosaur bones. Thumper could hardly believe his eyes. The shadowy figure was a giant T-Rex. Thumper knew he had to act fast. He remembered reading about how T-Rexes love to collect bones and decided to use that to his advantage. He bravely stepped out from behind the rock and confronted the T-Rex. "Excuse me, Mr. T-Rex," said Thumper. "I couldn't help but notice that you seem to have a love for dinosaur bones. Do you know anything about the missing bones from the museum?" The T-Rex looked surprised, but then he started to speak. "Yes, I do know something about those bones," said the T-Rex. "I've been collecting them for years, but I had no idea they belonged to a museum. I'm sorry if I caused any trouble." Thumper was relieved to have found the culprit, and he knew that he had to come up with a plan to recover the stolen bones. He convinced the T-Rex to return the bones to the museum and offered to help him find other sources of bones that were not as valuable or important. Together, Thumper and the T-Rex returned the dinosaur bones to the museum, and the curator was thrilled to have them back. Thumper was hailed as a hero for solving the case and recovering the missing bones. From that day on, Thumper became known as the greatest detective in town, and he continued to use his skills to solve mysteries and help others in need. He also made a new friend in the T-Rex, and they often went on adventures together, searching for bones that were not as valuable or important as the ones in the museum. And so, Thumper's adventure came to an end, but his legacy as a brave and clever detective lived on for generations to come. The end. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel that do not miss new stories about the adventures of the brave rabbit detective Thumper.